Okay.
Hey, we're back, baby.
We never left. We are unranked and unhinged. And you are with us for our super duper Time to Get Hurt podcast. This is our podcast that's going to deal with injuries.
Well, this is the only podcast where our swing thoughts are free, but the chiropractor bills are not.
Oh, gosh. I hate chiropractors. No, I don't hate chiropractors. I didn't mean to say that. They scare me. The whole neck thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got to, I'm all titanium up there anyway, so I guess now it wouldn't be bad. But
Well, I can speak on the golf. Like, golf doesn't hurt you immediately. It schedules your pain for like Tuesday or Wednesday. Like you can play and it'll be.
He's like, oh, I feel great.
About 2 days later, like, oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, and you don't feel it until you start putting your socks on.
Well, I like that. That's the bar. When you put your socks on and it hurts, it's like, oh yeah.
Yep.
Well, things. I'll say this. And I hope I'm not yelling at you, Gene.
Mm-mm.
If I sound too loud, just say,
No, we're good, man.
Say be quiet. I worry about you, like when you have to start so early in the morning, and you really have to. I don't know. You kind of go out cold, and you're on a cold morning, and you take a few swings.
Yeah,
at that thing, but
I do. It is a cold morning, and. But I make sure I kind of hopefully properly, warm up.
Okay.
Stretch. Make sure I, warm up my swings and just kind of get loose. Because like you said, you don't want to go out and just cold turkey and just because that's when injuries will happen.
Yep, that's ligaments and muscle strains and all that happy stuff.
Yeah. So how's your week been, man? Is it you been pretty busy?
I've had a good week. Yeah, we've been busy and we've been throwing a lot of dust around and so yeah, we've had a great week. Nothing too drastic has happened. Yeah. So
well,
how about you?
Yeah, it's been a busy week. We have our Brew Fest coming up this weekend. I'm not going to be in it, but we are going to participate in the competition.
The competition.
So it'll be a little different angle, a little different view for Topaz and I. And you're, I know you're not going to be able to go, but we have worked this before, and it's it's just a go. Next thing you know, it's over. So we're hoping to. I'm not hoping. I know we will have a good time.
Yeah, and I wish I could. I just got a lot of stuff going on, getting prepped for everything we've got going on because you and I are going to Charlotte.
We are going to Charlotte. We have a PT tournament on Wednesday, May the 13th. Bart and I are going to go up a day early.
Yeah, and stay in a really crappy motel.
If you guys watched our Bassmaster episode, fantastic episode. Fantastic hotel, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I give it 2 thumbs up.
Well, we've got a lot going on, and I think we are back again, and
we never left. Man,
I cannot wait till our T-shirts come.
I know, that would be great.
We need to come. We need to get together sometime and just come up with all of our sayings that we have, and just make some T-shirts. But I will say, if I do sound kind of nasally or a little different tonight, I'm kind of fighting some sinus drainage, and so we'll get through it and do the best I can.
Okay, so please, everyone, complain about that.
Yeah, please. You may see me cough, and I'll turn my head. And
I'm not a doctor, but I have watched. What was it? I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV.
That's right. Well, I did stay at the Holiday Inn.
That's it. Yeah. I'm not a doctor, but I stayed at a Holiday Inn last night.
And we're gone.
Yeah, and we should have, hopefully we'll get sponsorship by Holiday Inn.
We would love to have some sponsors, man. I think, you and I are always talking about this podcast, and we're always, thinking of the next big one, what our topics are for sure.
Yeah.
We definitely want to go some other places.
Going to go fishing.
Yes, definitely. And just, again, thanks, Fred, for
thanks, Fred,
letting us stay in here.
And we've got
Bristol Artisan,
and we've got Savage with us. I think that's his name. suit of armor, playing a guitar.
Yeah,
How cool is that?
Fred's been super good to us, and I know he's been super great to Bart, and we appreciate him for letting us set up. It's a cool place.
It really is. We always find something cool, and I know that we kind of we actually had somebody say, "Wow, man, I like your old studio." I was like, studio? What are you talking about? Yeah. So anyway, Gino, let's talk about getting hurt.
So I've got. So what we're talking about tonight is injuries.
Injuries.
You know, obviously, we both golf. We both do a little fishing. He does more fishing than I do, and he's got probably several injuries from fishing.
I've got so many fishing
than
injuries.
I would. I've got obviously the basic ones, and we'll get into that. But what I'm going to talk about is just our golf preventive. Maybe what causes, some of the golf injuries, and obviously some of these things is I've had this issues, back pain, whatever it may be, but so with that said, the thing will lead us into this. We grew up in a transition period of golf where technology started taking over after we already learned the game of golf, meaning like how to exercise.
Oh yeah.
How to
eat
properly.
And, all that
so
stuff.
that
and to stretch, like what we were talking about.
And trying to stretch. Back then it was more like, the ball flight, or how your hands feel, or maybe somebody watching your swing and trying to help you out, and that was just us. But so we had, and I feel like we had to kind of change our mindset, to kind of change with the times.
Tiger Woods.
And I feel like absolutely, man. I think Tiger Woods changed the game, and
I mean, now instead of having somebody out there like Fuzzy Zeller or what was the big walrus dude?
Yeah, we said that
we
last time.
We said that we were going to look that up, and
Sorry,
we still haven't looked it up. But yeah, I mean, all of a sudden there's a freaking athlete out there, and it's like,
yes,
not that it actually has to be that way,
right?
But when you're out there and you're playing against that, you want to bring your game to the same level.
And I think
if you're old and fat like me, you hurt yourself.
Yeah, if you don't stretch or roll around on the ground and just kind of loosen. But golfers that grew up with this technology from the beginning, and honestly, and that's not really a bad thing. It's just they understand the numbers and the mechanics, and the swing data that that we didn't have earlier. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Not that the swing analysis, like the TrackMan simulator, it does help your game, but it doesn't help your technique far as
true.
Injuries. So,
but I think the worst golf injury I ever had was when you and I were playing with Max, and he hit me in the butt with a drive.
Yeah.
Now I will have to say that was a twofold fault. Partially my fault for thinking, well, I'm going to go down this left side and hunt for my ball, which I had hit an errant shot. And so I was going looking for my ball. I didn't think, thought I was really far off the fairway. And I blame Max for not yelling 4.
Yeah.
You remember what he yelled?
Watch out.
Heads up.
Heads up, yeah.
How good does that help you when a ball's flying at you? Heads up. What? So, yeah. And he hit me square in the butt cheek.
Oh, man, yeah.
And it put a bruise. I wish I could, click right a shot right there of the big bruise he put on my butt. Thanks, Max. I love you.
Yeah, that was looked painful.
It was painful.
I felt for you, but it definitely looked painful. So.
Yeah, that was my worst golf injury.
Yeah, it's golf is I think this is in today's golfing and fishing injuries. I think apparently standing outside and relaxing is now considered a full contact sport.
Full contact, I mean, exactly. Well, especially the way we play.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so we are going to. So I'm going to we'll go into go back and forth.
Okay.
If you want to, and so if I kind of gave a little introduction of how mine's going to go. If you want to, kind of take over.
Sure. Well, you would think that fishing would be, of course, fishing's, a good, calm, easy sport that you won't get injured. But then you think about all the things that can hurt you. You've got hooks, and you've got knives, and you've got weird positions, and you've got, especially if you're doing a boat, you have to load and unload a boat at a boat ramp. You know, you always, if you're fishing from the bank, it's never like this really flat thing. You're always, walking through the rocks and mud, and there's so many things that can, and even the fish can hurt you, especially if some of the places that we fish, even fish around here, you don't think, well, I'm not going to get bit by a fish. You get bit by a muskie or a walleye, or you get stabbed. One of the most painful injuries you can have around here fishing is a catfish spine.
Oh, yes.
And catfish have these spines in front of their, I don't know what you call them, flipper fins. And, a lot of people think that it's their barbels, and they, oh, you're going to get stung. No. What happens is a catfish has these giant spines that stick out right in front of their fins. And what they do is they twist. And if you've got a hold of him wrong and you twist, I was fishing with a guy, and he got a catfish spine that went clean through the center of his hand. I mean, and not only that, they are covered in bacteria.
Yeah.
And so it immediately starts to hurt. Beyond what the actual pain of the injury, it's just all the bacteria and all the it's awful. So
I mean, it's a dirty, filthy water.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and no, sorry. So as far as fishermen, so usually when you talk to somebody about fishing, the couple of things they want to talk about is they want to talk about the biggest fish they ever caught and the worst injury they ever had. Now, I've got probably 5 or 6 different stories, and I'm going to finish with the one that I think, to me, was the most heinous injury that I had. But anyway, do you want me to start a story, or do you want to?
No, you go ahead, and you just go ahead and flow into it, and I'll.
Okay. One thing that, and this is something that I think is funny, that especially if you fish with old people who've been fishing for a long time, they always tell you to do weird things when you hurt yourself. Like remedies.
Right.
It's like when you wreck on a motorcycle, everybody becomes an orthopedic surgeon. And in golf, everybody's always an instant trainer.
Yeah. Oh, damn, that hurt, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, you should have done this. You should have stretched. You should have put your arm up here. Hey, well, if it hurts when it does that, don't do that anymore.
Don't do that. Thanks,
So,
Doc.
it's always the same thing. Spit worm juice on it. It's like, where do you get worm juice? Do you chew up the worm and spit? If you've hurt yourself. But the one thing that you'll usually hear an older person say is, if you've got a hook and it's in your finger, they all want to say the same thing. Well, you're gonna have to push it through. And I'm here to tell you, that is a manly act.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to tell a story about somebody who I actually witnessed do that, and you know who they are.
Okay.
It's Wayne Stanton.
Oh, yeah.
So we were fishing in Alabama, and Wayne got, and it was a worm hook. It was a monster, about a 2/0, and it went through the beefy meat part of his thumb. And you could see it was way past the barb. And I'm thinking, I'm not going to say it, because it's like I'm looking and I'm giving moral support at this point. And he's like, I'm going to have to push it through.
Oh, man.
And I thought, man, you're a man, because I couldn't even push it through your hand, and so he gets a pair of needle nose pliers, and right now I'm getting tingles up the back of my neck, and he pushed that stinking 2/0 hook through probably half an inch of meat.
God,
and out the other side. And then we weren't done. Then I had to take the pliers and cut the end of the hook off.
Right.
So that he could pull it back
the other way. Okay, I got it.
But yeah, that to me was probably the, oh, God.
Well, all the time we're going to talk about our buddy Kelly. I remember when you go fishing with him, you know when I said that, amateurs swing angry.
Yep.
Well, Kelly, when he's not angry, obviously, but when he was casting it, he was.
Oh yeah.
It was vicious.
It was vicious. It was
Dude,
forceful.
It's kind of like, you're looking behind you, you're like, dang, dude.
Oh yeah.
If I get caught in the ear or something, I'm like,
kidding.
I mean, this is because he was a quick fisherman and he'll just kind of reel in and do things. Oh my goodness, dude! And it's of course, obviously I was in the back, but sometimes the way you're fishing off the side of the boat, sometimes you can kind of.
And I've seen, and the new trend now is these bigger bass boats have these huge front decks.
Yes.
And so instead of having a guy fishing in the front and a guy fishing in the back, you'll have two guys up on the front.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how that it's not an epidemic of hooks in ears at this point.
There's probably so it was sometime last year we got together at the lake, family get together. Mm-hmm. We were fishing and I was using a long A top water.
Oh yeah.
And so we were done packing it up, and I was putting the fishing poles in the car, and I pulled my hand back. And I wasn't really pulling on the pole. I was just coming out of the car.
Yeah.
And dude, that thing went up in my thumb.
Oh.
And I'm like, and it went to the barb.
Oh.
It's the kind of same thing you're talking about with Wayne. And I'm like, well, crap. So, obviously I cut the line, so I just have the long A.
Yeah.
So I'm here working on it, and I'm like, dude, I can't get it out. So, that's kind of one of my injuries that, we end up going to the hospital, and they shot me some numbing medicine, and dude, it was so weird. Like the guy enjoys this. The nurse.
Oh, how funny.
Absolutely enjoys it. He's like, oh yes, I got another one.
Oh, I got another
So
one.
he numbs me, and after I don't know how many minutes, let's say 15, and that's to work the thumb.
Yeah.
Dude, he brings a pair of pliers and just yanks it.
Ooh. Well, yeah, I've heard that there's actually this weird tool and technique thing that pulls hooks out.
Yeah.
But
well, it's kind of like, I don't know. It was embarrassing, but it's kind of like that happens.
Yep.
But yeah, that's kind of one of mine.
Well, Max did that to a buddy of his when he was little. We went out it was some little birthday party or something they had at the lake. Well, all the little boys went fishing, and they were young, and of course Max had been fishing for a long time, and so he knew how to cast, and he was kind of like Kelly. He was a forceful caster, and he reared back and just whizzed that thing and caught one of his buddies in the ear, and it went clean through.
Oh man!
But and there was a lot of screaming and hollering, and the kid made noise too.
I bet. I bet he did.
Yeah. I can keep going, Gene, unless you want to throw one in.
So I'll throw one in. So I kind of broke mine down to kind of the 5 most common golf-related injuries.
Gotcha.
Obviously this is some things that I've had, other people's had, and and I feel like the number one is low back pain. That's an injury, and it's probably one of the biggest injury golfers deal with. Because golf is a rotational sport. You're constantly twisting and putting stress on your lower back over and over again.
Yep.
So a lot of that comes from swing mechanics. How you prepare, how you learn golf, and some golfers will lean towards a target in a backswing, kind of like a reverse pivot.
Okay.
And what happens is like when you're swinging, your spine kind of opens up one side, and when you rotate over, it's kind of slamming back together, and repetitive motion like that, it just puts a lot of stress on that lower back. So
I have all titanium in mine now, so
yeah. So your rotation,
my rotation is gone.
Yeah, I mean it's people want to hit it farther, and obviously your rotation, but there's other stuff I'm going to say, but that's what I feel like is one of the biggest golf injuries or back pain, lower back pain.
Maybe I'll be more accurate now that I can't rotate.
Well, it definitely will. They won't let you overswing.
No kidding.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
So I feel like a lot of times when you catch shots heavy, like what I mean is like if you hit a shot fat,
Oh yeah, I'm buried the club.
Yeah, that's kind of like a hitting the ground over. It kind of sends that shock through your body.
Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, and that's kind of bad on the back and the hips. But obviously, and I didn't think about this for a long time, but hitting off a mat, a lot of driving ranges or some golf courses have these mats, and there's concrete and then there's a mat.
Yeah.
So even though it doesn't feel like it, but you're still hitting on that concrete.
Yeah.
And then that kind of it just builds all together, in the back. So.
Well, and there's a lot of other things. I mean, with golf, carts. I mean, how many times do people get like hurt in carts?
Yeah.
Especially when you drive like me and Kelly did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we are so guilty of this one, and let me know if you agree with this. Whether you're driving or a passenger, what do you do with your right foot or left foot? Depends on where you are. If you're driver or passenger, your foot just kind of hangs out
at the cart. Yeah, it just dangles around.
It's just a normal, and
sometimes you even drag it. It's like, I'm dragging my foot on the grass.
So you think about that, like, man, if your toe happens to hit
a root,
and it, that.
Yep, there you go. Another golf injury.
That's a golf injury.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all guilty of it, and I do it, but it does cross my mind, and when it does, I kind of like. Okay, let's get back in here.
Let's get my foot back in here. Or what do you do when you're pulling up to a tee and your guys in front of you are just stopped and getting ready to get out of the cart? What do? You ram into the back of them.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Is it, what else are you supposed to do?
What else are you supposed to do? It's like, speeding up at a yellow light. And, that could cause injury, I would say.
Well, we do this for fun and tell our jokes and obviously don't do what we do.
Yeah. We are good, bad examples.
Yeah. But yeah, I totally agree with that one. The golf carts, it's pretty painful. It can be painful. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I've got another story, and this is a story about and I hate to say, but I can't remember this guy's name. This was back in the late 80s, and it was a guy I worked with, and we worked a second shift job, and he wanted to go fishing. And so we had a boat at the lake, and so we went out after midnight, and we were fishing for lake trout. Well, the night started kind of oddly because I didn't realize that he was terrified of the water.
Oh, really?
So we were at Painter Creek at the time, and he waited on the bank until I brought him a life jacket for him to walk out on the dock. Well, I did that, and then when we go out there, he's terrified the whole time of the fact that we're moving in the dark. And, you can't see anything.
It is scary. I'll admit that.
But we get there, and apparently his life jacket wasn't on suitable for him or whatever. So we're getting ready to fish, and we're doing all of our stuff, and we're getting ready to me and the other guy. There were three of us actually, and we're already fishing. And this dude, God, I swear, I think his name was Tim, and he's changing his life jacket and doing all this stuff. And well, the next thing we know, he finally gets up to it was a float boat, so he gets up and he's getting ready to cast. And it seemed like he knew how to cast, so he rears back and he flings it out through there, and we're on each side of him, and all of a sudden he's just like whing, and nothing happens for about a second. And then me and the other guy's name was Bill. We kind of looked at him, and all of a sudden, this dude starts screaming bloody murder. Just screaming. He had somehow got his line through the life jacket. And so when he casted, casted, when he did, it pulled the hook through the armhole or under. We don't know exactly how it happened.
Yeah.
But needless to say, it went into the meat of his man boob and out his nipple.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. And that was a trip to the hospital.
Yeah.
And it was, that was the weirdest fishing injury I've ever seen.
It seems like a lot of conversations are about the hooks.
Oh yeah, the hooks. And I've got a couple here about knobs.
Obviously there's other stuff, but I tell you, going back to what you were saying and fishing at night. I fished with Kelly a couple of times at night, dude. It's
kind of freaky to
it's freaky, man. Because it's
busting down the lake in the dark.
Because you hope, because obviously we know the rules, boating safety.
Yeah.
And we have our lights.
But those lights, they're just to make you feel better.
Well, I don't know, man. I think
because you can't see squat.
Well, I think if you. It's the other people. Like
it helps you see the other boats.
Exactly. Yeah, not for people in your own boat, but it's because I remember going out one night and Kelly. We said that Kelly knows the South Holston.
Oh yeah.
Very very well, and this dude he's just going 40.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, there's no headlights on this thing.
Yeah, because you can't see.
Exactly.
There's no way to see.
Exactly.
And the thing is, you hope and. A path that you've normally taken, and one thing you probably would have noticed him doing was looking up, because once you can see the ridge lines in contrast to the sky, you can kind of tell where you are and how far off you are. But the thing you never know is when that big old log's going to be floating out there. That's what always scares me.
Yeah, that's what's he did do that, but he also. Had his fish finder had the maps.
Oh, okay.
So I think on those maps it still had the mountains or the trees where he can kind of outline. He can but it's freaky.
It's still freaky.
I'm like, I think I'm ready to go, man.
Oh gosh.
So my second one is kind of like the second, third, and fourth one. They all kind of running together. It's the arm, which means the wrist, elbow, and the shoulder. So basically those are the suspension system of a golf swing.
Okay.
A lot comes from, all those injuries again comes from hitting fat shots.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of the same thing and pounding balls off the mat.
I love it.
I may have to cut that one out, but
no. But so I never thought about the mats hurting yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you go out and hit a bucket of balls, it's probably no big deal. But after time and time, it hurts the little ligaments in your wrist. But it's basically the club bounces off those mats. Yeah. So there's always that impact. It just kind of travels into the wrist and to the elbows. So. And it's kind of like if you're not using your lower body correctly, or your swing mechanics are off, the arms end up doing way too much. And that, what I mean is the arms, the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulders. If your lower body and your legs are not in sync or just not proper mechanics, your arms is the one holding the club.
Yeah.
So that it ends up, kind of messing with the wrists and elbows and shoulders.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Back to not having warmed up or stretched your and how many times do you think about stretching your arms? I mean, we'll grab a club or two clubs and do the whole swingy thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Well, I see. I'm not going to say I have a routine, but I have a few things that I know that I need to kind of stretch out. Mm-hmm. And obviously the back is the main one. But there is a little technique that I do for my stretching. I'll put a club like the head of the driver towards this hand and kind of put it over my back and
Oh,
take
okay.
the other one and just kind of
To stretch your
shoulders
muscles.
and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
well, that
So
makes sense.
that's some stuff that people can do. You know, we always joke about when we go to the golf course, we just kind of roll out and hit them.
Oh gosh,
You
yeah.
know,
Especially me, I'm usually late.
yeah, we have done that.
Yeah.
But you know,
Oh, I don't know how many times the very first time I swing is standing over the ball on the first tee.
yeah,
You know, I don't know how many times I've done that.
we've all done it. I think here lately I've tried to change my habits, but
Yeah, because you're getting to be professional.
yeah, no, not even close. I'm just having a good time.
We're going to have to change the name of this podcast pretty soon to Ranked and Unhinged. How can you make an R? R. Yeah, we'll work on that.
I don't know. But
Okay.
yeah, I think, you know, with hundreds of swings that have bad mechanics, you know, that just kind of stacks on top of each other. It's
Gotcha.
And that's with the hands and, you know, obviously, you know, arthritis, you know, kind of, and a lot of this stuff now, I realize it may be some injuries that you had brought over to golf.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Just for instance, like, you know, with your back and your neck.
Yep.
You know, now that you might go play golf, those are some injuries and surgeries that you're bringing over
Oh, yeah.
to the golf game.
Well, and that's going to kind of, and I know it will, it's going to change the way I swing.
Yes.
And I think sometimes, I don't know, maybe people try too hard to work against their own natural swing.
Mm-hmm.
And that could cause an injury. I mean, if you're like, okay, well, I'm going to swing like, you know, Ernie Els. But if your body isn't like his and, you know, isn't shaped the same way and as the same age, you know, if you try that, all you're doing is you're just putting pressure on joints and things that aren't going to work right.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, everybody is built different. Now, as far as mechanics, you know, you learn the game, you learn the techniques of the sport, but you have to learn it for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, just because maybe Tiger Woods or Ernie Els does this, does that mean it's going to work for you? Maybe
not.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I've talked, you know, we talked about some of the ways you can hurt yourself fishing. And we talked about fish. Fish can hurt you.
Yeah.
We talked about hooks. Hooks can hurt you bad. The other thing, too, is, you know, a lot of times it's your surroundings. I got a really quick, funny story. I was tiny. I was real little. I couldn't have been 5 or 6, maybe. And we went fishing with it was my great uncle, I guess you could call it that, on a houseboat. And he either caught a fish. I don't know exactly what caused him to do it, but he stuck his head through the railing to get something in the water. And he had these big old floppy ears, and he could not get them back. And he panicked. And when he did, he jerked, and it peeled the hide off the backs of both of his ears.
Oh, my goodness.
It was bleeding, and of course, me and my cousin, we were laughing hysterically.
Yeah.
Because we thought it was funny, right up to the point, you know, because, you know, he stuck in the slats, and, you know, he kept pulling, and I guess if he'd have just waited, we could have helped him or whatever once we quit laughing. But so yeah, I mean,
he's still alive, but we're going to laugh. So.
Yeah, we're going to laugh. You know, So I remember, you know, and there again, we talked about, you know, sometimes it's not the fish and not the hooks; it's the environment.
Yeah.
I was fishing on a jetty, and this was like at 3:00 in the morning. There was nobody else out there but me, and this was on the Gulf side of Florida, and I was sitting there just minding my own business fishing. I don't even remember what I was fishing for, but Shamu jumped out of the water, not 5 feet from me, and hit the water. It scared the crap out of me, so much so that I jumped up.
Yeah.
And when I did, I fell, and I slid down one of these barnacle-encrusted rocks, and I had shorts on.
Oh, nice.
It was like you had taken a cheese grater to my thigh and my hip and my calf.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't bad enough. So I'm in the water now. I didn't know what that was that jumped and splashed. You know, it wasn't orca, but you know, it was something. And anyway, immediately I think I'm standing down here in this water. I was up to water about my chest, and I said I'm bleeding profusely because I could tell.
Yeah.
And it was just stinging. So I know I'm bleeding. I know I'm there, and all of a sudden in my head, everything becomes shark infested. You know, I'm in the middle of a feeding frenzy of great white sharks. And so I'm panicking, trying to get back up, and it was difficult.
Yeah.
But I finally got back up, and the story doesn't end there. So I look down, and my leg is shredded, and the blood is just running. Well, it was a park that was I guess a national park or whatever, you know, state park or whatever. So they had a bathhouse, and it was not far away, and you know, restrooms on each side. So I take off over to the bathhouse, this restroom thing, and so I'm in there, and I got my leg up on the sink, and I'm paper toweling, patting all the blood off my leg, and all of a sudden, boom, the door busts open, and in comes a daggone security guard with a stun gun and a baton. What's going on in here? And I'm like, I hurt myself, a leg. And he's looking, and he's like, are you in here by yourself? I'm like, yeah. He said, did somebody attack you? And I'm like, no, I slipped out there on the rocks. He's like, oh my God. He said, I came out there, and he said, I saw the car, and he said, and then I followed this stinking blood trail across the sidewalk and the parking lot in here. He said, I thought somebody had killed somebody. So yeah, that's how I did that one. But yeah, it's a true story.
That's I mean, that's
yeah.
That's
and it happens,
that's
but yeah, I didn't get eaten by a shark. I don't know what kind of giant fish jumped, and as a matter of fact, I didn't catch a dadgum fish that night at all.
Maybe you should have just
stayed out there and kept myself for bait.
No, just see how long it would take for the sharks to get there and see
and
if you
then catch it.
and then see
Like just wait for a nibble.
yeah.
Hey, I like that. I like the way Gene thinks.
Can you outswim a shark?
Swim with sharks.
Outswim.
Outswim. No, I can't hardly. I couldn't outswim a bluegill. I couldn't outswim a carp.
A dead one
I
too.
dog paddle. I couldn't outswim a Labrador Retriever.
I don't think you could outswim a bluegill if it was belly up, just floating.
I know if it was floating, I would still be floundering. He would still be passing me. He's dead.
What's he doing?
He's floating. Yeah.
Oh my God. So my very last one, and we'll have some other stuff to talk about, but my 5 most common golf related. This one is another big one for me. Is the hips.
Yeah.
You know, I talk about the back and arms, but the hips.
The hips don't lie.
The hips don't lie because it brings a rotation from the side to side.
Sorry, Gene. I got Shakira on my head.
So the last one I want to talk about is the hips, which is it's another crucial
Hips don't lie.
part of the rotation. You know.
Shakira.
All right, Shakira. Oh, I think I'm doing Genie in a bottle.
That's okay. We're dancing. That's all that matters. Go ahead. So hips don't lie. So, keep going, Gene. You're on a roll.
We
man.
are on a roll, baby.
We are on a roll.
Let me see. How can I say this?
You were talking about hips.
Nope.
Nope.
I want to say the joints about midsection above the leg.
Oh, I got you. Leg bone connected to the
Hip bone.
hip bone.
All right, we're back.
He never left.
So the
hips hurt.
The hips hurt. It's another critical part of the rotation and the weight shift throughout the swing. You know, the one thing that people don't realize, the hips, everybody's hips are built different. He's back. He did leave.
I did not.
All right. So a lot of people don't realize, and then maybe they do. Like everybody's hips, you know, as we said earlier, the body's built different, and also definitely the hips. You know, some people have more naturally more mobility, while others are kind of tighter and kind of limited to certain movements. And you kind of have to know what your limit is. You know, you don't want to try to force, you know, that rotation past your body's natural range of motion, especially, you know, with something that's probably going to hurt later on.
I swear, I think that's a great thing to say, is that, you know, so many people try to change everything.
Yeah.
I wish that, you know, they would, if they could spend a little. First off, I understand if you're going to be a professional golfer,
Right.
change a bunch of stuff. But
Yes.
if you're going to go out and be a recreational golfer and enjoy yourself and have fun, try to just swing what feels right and feels good, and then change enough little things to just get the ball in play.
That's really all you have to do. You know, like you said, we're not playing professional golf. You know, we're not playing extra long yardage.
Yeah.
You know, so you just need to put it in play. But yeah, you know, a lot of times, you know, this muscle weakness and joint restriction is because of the overall mobility.
Oh yeah.
You know, if, like I said, if your mobility, you know, if you're not stretching and you don't know what that limit is, that's where injuries are going to come from.
Well, and I'll say this too about the hips. I was thoroughly convinced that I had hip problems, but it turned out it wasn't. It was my lower back. So, you know, you talked about how that the back is probably the most common injury. So,
Yeah, for sure. I
you
mean,
know, a lot of people probably, if their hips were hurting, they probably didn't realize that a lot of that was probably because of the rotation stuff in their back.
yeah, well, you know, when something's not working or something's hurting, you know, your body finds a way to make it work.
Yeah. Compensates with other muscles.
Exactly. And
stuff.
and that's how injuries will start showing up. You know, yeah, that's, you know, poor movement patterns. You know, bad mechanics. I said this earlier. Bad mechanics is part of the body to overcompensate. You know, whether it's the hands, if you have, you know, your club path, you know, your lower back, even your knees. I mean, people, you know, golfers have, you know, surgery on their knees. You know, there's so much pressure, so much tension on your body. I'm not saying, I don't want to like say it's bad. I don't want to scare anybody, but you know, this is just kind of a
We're talking about injuries.
My point of view of how injuries happen and what causes that. I'm not a professional by no means, but you know, I do understand golf and I do understand injuries and I know what hurts.
Yeah, exactly. We all know what hurts. But listen to your body.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's perfect because, you know, if one of your body parts is not pulling their weight, you know, that's
that would be my legs.
Yeah, exactly. Other parts will work overtime to kind of get that club back in position.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that range of motion in the hips, well, your back may overcompensate, or vice versa, the arms or whatever. So
yeah. Well, I think we all want to have this perfect swing, and sometimes the path to a perfect swing for us is injury.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Well, you know, I think we go back to just golf. You know what you can do, get the ball in play. You know, just know your limits.
Yeah,
you know, stretch. You know, find out where your range of motion is. You know, where you need to be, what your body allows.
Yeah.
You know,
makes sense.
So, you know, if the hips are tight in the lower back and weak legs, that will put extra strain on the shoulders and the elbows. And like I say, the body will figure out a way to complete the swing. Yeah. You know, even if it's the hard way.
And if you're out there hurting, just get a beer and ride around the cart with your buddy.
Ibuprofen. So basically, your golf swing, and I'll leave you with this. Basically, your golf swing is a group project.
Yeah, there are so many
Yeah,
so many participants.
exactly. And think this: when one body part stops contributing, the rest of them are angry. So if your arm's not pulling away, if your hip's not pulling away, well, something else has got to
change to make up for it.
So that's kind of my advice. It's not really advice; it's a statement that your body swing is a group project.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So that's where I kind of stand. But I want to say this too. I didn't put this in here, but flying golf balls.
Hey,
I mean, just think.
I've been hit.
Yes,
and it hurts.
And you did say that, and the word for, but I mean, we're on a piece of land. And there's trees.
Mm-hmm.
That a white ball will find a path to you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just think, getting hit in the head. I know you got hit in the buttocks and buttocks.
Yes.
But you got hit in the tushy.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this. We're pretty good about getting out of the way.
Yeah.
We talked about the Masters, how that they just crowd in and make this really narrow path. We're pretty smart about the fact that, we go hide behind a tree when somebody's going to hit, or we get behind the cart, and stuff like that.
It's kind of like, Bart, I trust you.
But I'm going to go hide behind this
tree.
tree.
I'm going to go behind this tree.
Yeah, exactly. I understand completely because I have actually been on a tee and hit a ball and it go absolutely 45 degrees perpendicular straight out from me. And if there'd have been somebody standing there, it'd pop.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, Bart, I trust you. If I need something done, I'll call you up, and you'll definitely
not answer the phone.
Not answer the phone, and I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere.
I'll get there eventually.
And he'll if he does get there, he's going probably 25 and 45.
I'm mosey to a place.
He's a mosey.
I'm a mosey.
But no, it's with that said, it's kind of like on a different note. We trust each other, as far as if I need you to do something for me, I definitely know he'll do it. But again, when it comes to golf, like, dude,
I don't trust my swing. I wouldn't imagine you would either.
No, don't trust me because, like I said, hey, they all do it. Even professionals will push one.
I agree.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. I will let you bring up this.
Okay, I'll take us out with the last thing, and that is we've talked about injuries with hooks, injuries with fins, injuries with teeth, injuries with environment. So the last thing I want to talk about is the thing that really kind of is part of your fishing toolbox, and that's a knife. And I was injured. Believe it or not, I was at Isla Morada in the Florida Keys, and it's a great place to go fishing. And I was at a campground, and I was fishing off of this one little spot they had there because I saw barracuda, I saw all this stuff. Well, anyway, I'm fishing, and I take out my knife to do something, which I will explain later. And the next thing I know, that knife is buried in my thumb. I mean, buried.
Yeah.
I could feel it in the bone. It was stuck so hard in the bone, it was hard to get out.
Oh my goodness.
So when I get it out, blood everywhere. And so there again, there was a bathroom at the campground. And so I take off hoofing it to the bathroom. So I'm in the bathroom, and I'm just bleeding like a stuck pig. And so I'm trying to get it to stop. Well, these two old men walk in, old fishermen, and it was like I had just landed in a helicopter at the MASH site. They, all of a sudden, that one's like, Earl, go get your first aid kit out of your camper. This boy's done hurt his arm. Done hurt himself. And so he's over there, and next thing you know, I am in absolute, have no control over what's going on.
Yeah.
They have taken over, and he's grabbing the thumb, and Earl comes flying back in, and it is triage. And they're doing all this stuff and getting me all fixed up, and I'm just hanging on, I'm just like, yeah, y'all go ahead. Well, Earl says, hey, you know what this means, don't you? I'm like, no. He says, now you can become a member of the Thumb Club. And I'm like, the Thumb Club? And he goes, yeah, the thumb club. And he sticks his thumb up, which I hadn't paid attention to before. And it looked like something, back then it wasn't a thing, but now it looked like a thumb of like a zombie or some critter off of Harry Potter. You know, it was all just withered and it was just bone with skin on it. And I was looking at that and I was like, holy crap, and he goes, fish poisoning. And I'm like, fish poisoning? He's like, yeah, I got stabbed by some kind of catfish. And it withered and basically took all the meat off his thumb. It was nothing but skin. So I'm like, and he's like, show him your thumb, Earl. Earl sticks his thumb out like this. And there's this, it's flat with this like pilot mountain on the top of it. This thing sticking up. It looked like a huge big wart almost. And there's hair growing out of it. There's this big long hair growing out of his thumb. And I was like, oh. And he could see by the look on my face. And he goes, yep, fillet knife. Filleted it right off. And he said, and they put skin graft on there. And when they did, they took the skin graft off the back of my fingers. And he had very hairy fingers.
Oh, man.
And so this thing was growing out of his thumb with hair. And I was like, I do not want to be a member of the thumb club. But anyway, I noticed your thumb.
Yeah.
I want to say one thing real quick. And here's the thing. The whole bad part about this whole episode was, you know, it'd have been nice if I'd have been fending off a shark or stabbing a barracuda or something.
Yeah.
Take a guess what I was doing. I was trying to open a pistachio nut. You know, you know how you get to the last ones and they're stuck. You can't open it because they're all sealed up.
Yep.
That's exactly what I was doing. I was digging on that pistachio nut.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll tell you about my little.
Yeah, Gene's got a mean looking thumb there.
And this is not a sport injury.
Okay.
This is not
Work
fishing.
injury.
It is at home.
Oh.
I was ripping a 2x4 on a table saw. This is probably 15, 16 years ago, and when I was ripping it, it hit a knot. And so therefore it kind of did that.
Oh no!
And the blade just. Whoosh. So it's kind of like when I do this, and I'm like, okay, there's blood everywhere. Is my thumb still there?
Dude, I mean that looks horrible.
So yeah, and man, it's kind of what's weird. It happened so quick. It's kind of it's kind of like a paper cut. You know how paper cuts kind of happen real quick.
Yeah.
This one just. So here we are. I go barreling through the house and tell her, what's the matter? I was like, I cut my thumb. We gotta go to the hospital. And of course, she panics and she gets up and so we're heading down. She is just like panic mode, man.
Wow.
And so we end up going and.
It looks bad, Gene.
Yeah,
it really does. I mean, you can't hardly see my pistachio scar.
Yeah. But yeah, that's.
You would be like a high-ranking member of the thumb club.
I would. I mean, I've got a V. I can like.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got one more thing to say about an injury thing.
Okay.
On a golf course.
Okay.
Flying clubs.
Oh yeah.
That's something. We had a friend of ours. We won't mention any names, but we've talked about him.
You know who you are.
We. Yeah, he can get a little mad,
He can fling some
those things will fling. I get. Hey, we've all been there. We're mad at ourselves. It's not the club's fault, but it happens. But we paid way too much money, and it's supposed to be a fun time. It's supposed to be stressful, but yeah.
Yeah, you can break loose.
Yeah. So yeah, man. But I think that was.
I think that's about the craziest stuff that I've come across.
I think we can probably, and we may do this. We may do a part 2.
Oh yeah.
Sometime. We'll revisit some of our episodes.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I think. You hear something?
Beer review.
All right, we're back.
We never left.
Oh.
Hey, that looks kind of cool when I do that. It's like my hand gets bigger.
All right.
You would think we'd already been to the beer review.
Yeah, man. So
Welcome back.
We never left.
Do it. I get it. Yeah.
So tonight we are going to go local, man. Local here. Kind of local. It's in Johnson City.
Yeah.
We're going to go with Yeehaw beer.
Yeehaw, and it's got a name.
It's a Dunkel. It's a lager, and basically Dunkel is German for dark.
Oh, okay.
So like this is a dark lager. A lot of times you'll see something dark, you kind of think as a stout or a porter or something like that.
Yeah.
And those are ales. This one here is a dark lager.
Oh, and I would like to have a public service announcement really quick. Last week, we tested a beer, we reviewed a beer, which was very good, very tasty. I, not being a beer drinker, didn't realize that an 8% ABV would do weird things to you, like make you forget things, like your name and where you live and, how to get in a bed. So that's my public service announcement. Always read. I'm going to be very, very cognizant of ABV.
Yep, this one is 5.5.
5.5.
Yep.
Yeah, those.
So yeah, man,
Those three ABVs just did weird things to me.
This is the first one we have done that I see the IBUs, which is the international bitter units.
Bitter unit. What's it say?
25.
That's. I don't know what that means.
That's low.
Okay.
I don't mind it being a little bit lower, but you'll.
I love it lower.
That's a pretty good number. If you get, for me, if you get somewhere between a 20 or 25, I'm right there.
Wow! It said that this is the one that started it all for the brewery. This was their first one. Are we going to crack it? I want to still read here a little bit. No, wait a minute. I can pour.
Yeah. This is, like I say, this is brewed and canned by Yeehaw Brewing in Johnson City. Tennessee. All right. Here we go. Unranked.
And unhinged.
You smell it?
What's that? Ooh, it's different. I poured mine fast and got a big old head on mine. But that being said, it is very clear.
It's
not cloudy at all.
Yep,
Nothing weird in there floating around.
It's the dark, as they call it, Dunkel. It is clear, but it is brown, but it's super clear, like Bart said.
Yeah.
I can see the carbonation, really carbonated really well. You can see the bubbles coming up.
See, I don't see, maybe because I poured mine too fast.
It's pretty tough to see, but you can see them coming up.
We need to bring a flashlight so we can shine through it.
Yeah. So, cheers.
Cheers, my friend. It's got that IBU stuff.
It's a little bitter.
Yeah.
A little bitter. I wouldn't worry about that. Just go ahead and open it.
All right, guys. So we're back again. What?
Yep.
No, we never left. I think I had a dirty glass, and I know that's probably you could probably order it that way, special, but I didn't like it, so I got me another one. And the reason I did that was because I knew I'd tasted this beer before, and it was a tolerable beer.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that the reaction I had to it before was less than tolerable.
Well, that'll be cut out. So try that one.
Whole different beer.
That is super weird, man.
I know. And yeah,
Right,
that's
so,
really weird. So we looked at this beer. We looked at it. We thought it was very clear.
Yep. It's a mahogany color.
Mahogany. That's
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah, I like that.
It's kind
It's
of
not red.
It does no, that's definitely not. It's got that sweet roasted malt profile. I taste the
I
roasted
definitely got a malt. I definitely have a little bit of bitter, but not too bad.
part. Yeah, and you probably could taste a little bit of caramel, and maybe some little
I think so. Yeah.
maybe a little flavor of like cocoa or like kind of like a biscuit.
Oh yeah, maybe bready, kind of
Yeah,
biscuity.
mhm.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I've had this one till tonight. I think it's definitely a great beer. You said this is the one that really kind of got Yeehaw started.
That's what it said. It said on here that this was the first beer that they brewed.
That's pretty nice.
And it actually has placed in the World Beer Cup,
Wow.
which I think you should try for, Gene.
Okay.
I really do. I think Wicked Pickle would kick some serious butt at the World Beer Cup.
Dude, I would love to take the Wicked Pill like other places.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, what's your shirt say? I hadn't looked at your shirt today. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to even read that. It's going to be up to you all to read. Hey, look at this. I got a fish. I got a shirt. Ba-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da, ba-da.
Catch you later.
You later.
Life is good. I love those
pretty
shirts.
good.
I love Life is Good shirts.
I know, and it feels comfortable. My sweetie bought me this shirt. Thank you, sweetie.
Boats and hoes.
And yeah, boats and catching fish.
Just say it.
No, I'm not going to say it because you'll have to beep it out. And my mommy's watching this.
Oh,
Your mama's watching this too.
I know it. Sorry, Mama. Oh, I got another shirt.
What you got? Oh, she bring it. Let me ask you this question. Did your mother buy you that shirt?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, she's such a good person. She is such a good heart of her. She would not.
Our mommies are awesome.
But yeah,
Yeah, this is good. This is really good. Now, and I hate to say this, I don't know if I like it out of a can, and I don't know how that's different. That is so bizarre.
I'll say this. I am with you. Like any drink out of a can, for whatever reason, tastes better. Like if I buy a soda, I love it out of a can versus out of a bottle.
Really?
And I don't know if that's maybe because of the way it's stored or traveling, like with the UV light.
Yeah.
That's why you see a lot of beer with brown bottles.
Right. It cuts out the UV.
Exactly, because
Okay.
that is a death killer for beer is the light.
UV light. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I like that. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is not. If we were sitting and this was the only beer that was sitting on the table, I would drink one.
Absolutely,
And,
yeah.
And it not as. I don't like it as well as I did the one last week.
Yeah, this is not very heavy either.
No, it doesn't taste heavy.
I think the last week was heavy, but it was a good one.
And it had that you called it the mouth feel.
Yes.
It was, I guess, the difference in drinking water and drinking milk. You kind of get that almost thickness feeling.
Yep, right. Well, I would have to say that it is good.
Yeah.
And I think that you are becoming a beer drinker.
I know, isn't that awful? I used
No,
to hate
not awful.
beer. I mean, it was just like, bleh.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I know, it's Gene's fault. Good grief. Because he lured me in with the pickles. The pickle goza. Not only that, but all of his other beers. I've enjoyed pretty much any beer that Gene has brewed.
It's a lot of fun. I appreciate it, man. It's people don't realize what's behind the scenes.
Yes.
The one thing that I want to do is brew a beer and videotape it, kind of time lapse it, the whole thing.
Front to back.
Like
yeah.
I'm talking from, milling my own grains, to the brewing process, the boil, and like carbonation and just kind of like. So what I'd like to do is start that and then bring it on here.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
And this is.
And that would be a whole thing.
So I think we
biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and biscuits and biscuits. But I think what we would do is like when we decide to do that, we will let our people know, and then the following week we'd have it.
Can you do it in a week?
No, I can't do it in a week, but it's kind of like, hey, we got a special.
Oh, I got you. Special one coming.
Yes.
Yeah, and I hate to. I enjoyed doing the preview of the Superstitious, and I had a lot of fun doing that. And I had big plans on doing one for last week's podcast, and life got in the way. It was going to be really funny. It was all about pounding balls. But yeah, because that was kind of what we talked about last week. That's this week. No, that was last week.
Yeah.
So I am going to do, hopefully, I will have one prepped before you all see this. And so we'll see about injuries.
Yeah, I think
that means I'm going to hurt myself.
Yeah. So I think
yeah, back to beer review. Sorry, we kind of got sidetracked, but
we may be able to talk to Yeehaw.
That'd be cool.
And come and go down. But good on you guys. This is great.
Very, very good. And some of the other things we talked about was it's not fruity. There's no tangy. There's nothing like that. This is what you said, a lager.
Yeah, this is a lager.
And so you get a lot of them.
It's so weird that, and it's based on the yeast and its temperature. So the lager yeast eats from the bottom, turns the starch into sugar, or the sugar into alcohol. It starts at the bottom. Kind of think about this: it eats it up.
Wow.
Ale yeast, which is a lot of what we drink, is at the top, works its way down. It's a little more temperature tolerant.
So how do you control the bitter?
With hops.
Okay.
So you have, when you're bowling, you have to do this bowl to kind of get all the grains and kind of, but at the very first, which is what I'll do, a 60-minute bowl, that's where the bitterness come from.
Okay.
So like if I put in 3 ounces, 2 ounces, whatever, that's how much bitterness I'm going to have.
Gotcha.
And then when you do about around 30 minutes, that's where you're going to get, and I hope I say this right, I don't get it backwards, that's where you're going to get a lot of the aroma.
Okay.
And then like when you put it towards the end, that's where some flavor comes from. It's not all flavors because it depends on what grains you put in there, but yeah, that's how the processes work. But if you want it super bitter, you put it at the very beginning of the bowl.
I just had a wonderful idea, Gene. We've done this beer review. We always drink the same beer. We have, and our theme song. 2 guys, 1 beer, 2 states of minds. I think it would be good to do an entire podcast of nothing but different types of beers, and you could kind of explain to me about them. Like,
okay,
here's a lager, here's a dunkel, here's an ale, here's a so and so, here's a goza, here's a sour, and work my way across.
So here, how about this? I love that idea. What if we do a series? Not meaning like an hour long. Yeah. I'm talking about we just take like a 15-minute talk about, say, this beer, and we can still do it in we can still put a podcast out there in an hour, but like we'll talk about this one and we'll just put them all together.
Cool. Only thing I want is I would like to taste the difference. And
okay.
I think that's
all
what
right.
I think you understand. Like when you say lager, you understand the taste that you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
If you say lager, I don't know what I'm going to eat.
Well, I think with lager for me, and it may affect people out there or not, but lager feels like a crisp taste. It's like a clean taste to me. I don't know if that makes any sense. We can explain it later, but
I love it.
But I love lagers. I love pilsners, which is kind of the same thing.
See, there he threw me again. There's another one. Pilsner.
Well, Pilsner is a lager, but that depends on what stuff you put in it.
Well, I think it would be really cool, especially for me. I just looked down at our timing on this podcast, and we're at an hour and 30 minutes. This is awesome.
Yeah.
We could talk for days. This may be a two-parter. Anyway, I would like to
I love that idea.
I would like to have all of them
Yeah.
lined up so that I can taste this, and you can tell me, you can say, okay, think about this and blah, 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 what you should be tasting. I think other people would enjoy that.
Yeah.
Come on,
yeah.
comment, guys. Throw us a comment and see if that's something you would
Dude,
like to see.
that's
Is an entire beer run.
That's a great idea.
So it would be a teach
excellent.
Bart what a beer
Well, I
is.
think the proper way to do that is like when you do your samples and we talk about it. Obviously, you have to get water. You got to rinse your palates.
Cleanse the palate.
Yeah, cleanse the palates. And do all that stuff. That way, you can go to the next beer. You don't have like a
Residual.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome.
But-
I love it.
But it's been
Yeah,
it's
we
been
like
good.
you. We like Yeehaw Dunkel. I like it in a can. Don't care
Yeah.
for it in a cup.
Yeah. So
But-
that's us. We are actually
Way
going
over.
going to Charlotte.
We're going to Charlotte.
I think
and
we
we're-
mentioned at the
We're going to
beginning.
try to podcast from Charlotte. Gene's got a tournament in a minute.
So we
Did
can,
you have a tournament last week?
I did not.
Okay.
I haven't had one.
So we
in a
haven't.
couple
You
weeks.
haven't had a tournament that we need to talk about.
No,
Okay. Cool.
Nope.
I was just checking.
but appreciate it, guys. Keep on,
Keep on. Keep on.
and don't injure yourself.
Don't hurt yourself. Hey, I thought of an exit thing.
Okay.
Okay. Unranked and
Unranked.
unhinged.
Yep.
Where the squeeze is worth the juice.
Handicaps are high, standards are low.
Dun, dun, dun.
Guys, thank you so much. We enjoy doing this.
2 thumbs up.
We're
We
going
love it.
to hopefully go on the road somewhere, and we just got to find some people, and I think we can. But till next time,
Till next time.
thanks, guys.
Crack a cold one and tee it high. Lines in the water and the sun